Hello everyone, welcome to OBN. Today we have a special edition to discuss about the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance System. Our today's guest is Dr. Engineer Habtamu Itefa, Minister of Foreign Energy of Ethiopia, and we're going to discuss about the progress of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance System and also the sad feeling of the reservoir of the dam is already successfully completed, and therefore we like to say congratulations to Ethiopians and Ethiopian friends. And to begin with, Excellency, thank you for joining us. And
thank you so much as well.
Let you address your congratulatory message, then we're going to move to the other questions.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say all Ethiopians and the friends of Ethiopians, congratulations, as we have successfully achieved filling the third round of GERD. You know, the last years, it is all your contribution and support that we could achieve this third filling. I hope for all Ethiopians and all our brothers, our friends of Ethiopians, you are happy, you enjoy with our success, and congratulations once again.
I see. What is your take on the measures and action taken by the reform government behind the success story of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance System and the challenge that you have been through?
Yeah, thank you so much. On the eve of the reform, the first challenge that the government was facing, not only the government, but Ethiopians, all facing was to reactivate all projects that has been dead. When I say it's not really dead, but it was on the way that it abused all Ethiopians, that their contribution was almost nullified. So first we need to assess what's going on, how things were laid, where is the mistake. So it is to diagnose all the system and make remedy for the work. So on that time, the reform, especially our PM, has taken the leading role on GERD issue because it is where all Ethiopians have shown solidarity and being togetherness for common being of our nation. If something go wrong on this dam, for sure next time Ethiopians will not support, will not trust anyone. So the first day, what the PM has taken was to revise all misunderstanding, all mispractice, misconduct in the project implementation. That was the start, really, where we say it has big stake to make our today's success. Then after, the commitment every year has been shown by the government, by our people, and by everyone, friends of Ethiopia, where they have been standing together to accomplish the first filling, second filling, now the third filling, where we have achieved what we planned accordingly. Had it been with the previous time, before the reform, no one talk about the first filling. No one could talk about the second filling. No one could talk about the third filling. No one could talk about the first phase power generation. All those could have been dream had the reform didn't have taken appropriate decisive action.
I see here what I want you to add is there was even misinformation, disinformation as the project is even sold, and what you want to add on that, sir?
Yeah, that is funny. You know, those people who have been saying, yeah, this government has sold the project and something is going wrong. Just they said so in 6 or I think 5 months, we could show them feeling of the first round where we disapproved their false allegations. So those false allegations were, as usual, they used to say, the purpose was to dismantle the people from the leadership and to make people doubt and not to support the dam. This is really so shameful, especially for Ethiopians who have been engaged in this kind of rumor and propagation against their nations.
Great. Grand Ethiopia Renaissance System is a symbol of unity and the pride for Ethiopians, and how this project is going to benefit Ethiopians then?
Yeah, number one is it is really where we can always proudly speak. We have solidarity for our common well-being. That's one of the benefits. This has a meaning for the people who are on the other side against our nation, where they can clearly see the solidarity of Ethiopians is so successful on GERD. Specific to the GERD, for sure we can understand the problem in this country is lack of energy in one or the other way. If you take the industry, if we take the manufacturing sector, if we take the transport sector, if we take the tourism sector, all one of the other ways related to energy sector. So by the time of completion of our dam, not completion even on the first generation, we could inject more megawatt of power to the existing system. So this will be creating opportunity for more investment, where this investment will be creating job opportunity for our youngsters who are completing from university, staying now jobless and exposed to different kind of malpractice. Second one, we will improve the economic status. The livelihood of our people will be getting changed. Third, and a very important one, it will help us to create collaboration in our neighboring countries. For example, in Sudan, with Djibouti, with Kenya, and South Sudan. We already are in the process of exporting power. This power or this energy that we're exporting is coming from our water source. Now GERD will be contributing more, which will be helping this our neighboring country get confidence on Ethiopia for common prosperity of our nations in neighboring country and here as well. Another way from the project again, I think we got good lesson practice again also, experience on implementing large projects, mega projects that is getting challenged internationally. So we could win that one. Itself is also another advantage and the benefits that we can count from our GERD.
I see. The problems has been there regarding the mega project is, the plan might be there, but, regarding the implementation, we have seen a lot of problems. And what is your take on the role Grand Itefa Renaissance System would play in, image building and in showing the role that as we can do things when we are united?
Yeah, actually from GERD, really our ministry, including itself, has got good lesson and experience of working on large projects like GERD, especially the GERD Coordination Office, which is coordinating the community mobilization by creating wells for the implementation, is led by this ministry. And it has a council, of course, but directly led by our ministry. That is number one stake, where really we had a big role. The second one is when we are talking of the GERD, yes, GERD is a dam, which we mean there is a concrete we built across a bay, across a river. But the flow, the water, how it should be supplied, how it should be managed, what we should do in the next time is also another very important part, where our ministry will have more experience and then manage that one to transfer to other aspect. Beyond all this, as an Ethiopian, really our ministry feel proud to lead, to work on such kind of mega projects by coordinating, starting from the water availability into the dam, and then the technical support to the project office, and then the policy issue with regard to energy, water source, and the electric power system that has to be addressed through our GERD production or GERD output production.
I see. Here, what I want you to add is, Excellency, as you know, some relate the Grand Itefa Renaissance with that victory of Adwa. And in Adwa, victory awaked Africa to be liberated, and this is the GERD will play a great role, in economic liberation. And so, what do you want to say on that?
Yeah, exactly. We can say. By the way, you are right. We can say second Adwa, because during the war of Adwa, no one knows where Adwa is, but they heard the call from the king, the emperor, I mean, and then they followed to defend their nation, to defend their country. The same is true for GERD. Most Ethiopians, they don't know where Matakal is. They don't know where Guba is. Even maybe few knows about Benishangul. And almost we can say very few know where GERD is, exact location. But they trust the government, they trust the leadership, and they contribute to what they have. So this makes it the sign for Soldier of Ethiopia is bringing us to victory, as we did in Adwa. You raised a really good example. So in Adwa, all were moving toward defending their nation, their country, And now everyone was moving towards supporting GERD as to bring prosperity and development in our people, in our nation. Beyond that, the last 3 years or 2 years and so on, we were facing big challenge in Ethiopia. That is directly or indirectly related to GERD development. So we have been together to defend this nation and implement our GERD.
Excellency, could you brief us the megawatts that expect to be generated from the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance System and in filling the gap, especially in domestic use?
Yeah. Currently, we have about 4,700 megawatts around there, where by the time GERD will be fully functional, we are going to have more than double, because GERD is going to give output of 5,150 megawatt, which is much higher than what we have now. We already under the first round generation, which is around 750 megawatt, which is really big stake, big volume. By the time we inject this magnitude of energy to the grid line, to the system, we can imagine how really we can satisfy the current gap. Wherever we see there is a limitation of power in different industry, everyone is complaining. Limitation of power for even household level, which will really improve it. But one thing I really want to note here is completion of GERD means not satisfying all our demand, because there are some issues related to the distribution system, the power system, the substations, the cables, and so on. All those need more investment, and all Ethiopians need to know about that. Above all, the very important one is we will double our power generation capacity in domestic purpose. So having this energy, as I said earlier, will be a basis for attracting of investment, where it can be manufacturing or it can be tourism or any sector that is demanding our power. So we say it is really a turning point for Ethiopia, where we will bounce as a new to increase our energy system for economic development as a nation as a whole.
I see. Ethiopia is not only constructing the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance System only for domestic use, but also to export electricity to the neighboring countries. And how the GERD, what is your take on the role of the GERD in strengthening Ethiopia's ties with neighboring countries and in realizing regional integration?
Yeah, if we see East Africa, Ethiopia is where we have cheap electricity. When we say we have cheap electricity, actually subsidized by government, that is true. But it is also really a place where we have good opportunity to generate power because of the topography, we have it. Because of the water amount, we have it, where our neighbors, they don't have that. If we produce our energy from here and export it, all our neighbors will be beneficiary. We are happy for that. And we are doing also support. As I say earlier, for Djibouti we already exported, for Sudan we already exported, South Sudan we are on the process. With Kenya we started already in just a few weeks back, where they are getting benefited from development of Ethiopia. The other one, and very important, is we will get foreign currency from our neighboring country. Yes, that's a very good one. Above all, we are someone who are really working to reintegrate the East African people, nation. With electricity coverage in Ethiopia, we have less than 50%, about 47% by population, where we are really the least one here, while we are having the big potential. Others, including Egypt, they are really far ahead of us. They approach about 90% and so on, even about 100%, while they don't have any option. Our neighbors, which are immediately our neighbors in East, South, and so on, they have also problem with electrification. If we have this potential and export to them, they will get benefited from us, and we will also move for a collaborative approach of integration. By the way, the purpose of our energy export is not only for supplying of the energy. If we see in Kenya, we do have people of the same language, the same culture, the same practice that we have here. So exporting power to them means we are supporting our people we have in Kenya. If we see in Somalia, perfectly the same. If we see in Sudan, both sides, the same people on both sides are available. So when we are delivering power from Ethiopia, we are also supporting or assisting our brothers in those neighboring countries. That's what has been for us.
Great. Beside generating energy, what are the blessings of the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam?
Actually, the main purpose of the dam is for power generation, energy. But parallel to that one, we can have some auxiliary benefits. Number one is fishing, for example. In Nile, we have the Nile perch fish, which is of good quality and very productive and really exportable as well in many parts, suitable as well for that species. So that is one area we need to work upon. The second one is tourism. When people are coming to this country, they always go to only few places. That has been known so far. But now we can tell there is an option people can go to visit west part of the country. Starting from Addis to the dam site, really Ethiopians will get benefited from such kind of visit. Transport as well, because by completion of the dam, we will have about 260 kilometers of reservoir length, where really people can use for transportation and for enjoyment. These are the basic benefits we can have besides the hydropower. Anyway, if we have the energy we generate from the power, so we don't use irrigation on GERD in our country, in other parts. Really, we'll have the capability, we'll have the power, we have the bargaining power to utilize our water for the betterment of our people, especially on this side, to feed our nation, so that they don't remain always, people don't call us poor, poor, poor. When they are calling this nation as a poor country, number one criteria is every time they hear starvation, every time they hear famine, every time they hear drought. So for sure, GERD will reverse all these kind of histories.
I see. Ethiopians are the only source, the finance source of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and taking this as a great example. What plans are there down the road as a ministry to start other mega projects?
Yeah, from GERD already we have a good experience of mobilizing people for such kind of mega projects. For that we had an office, project office, that is the GERD coordination office. GERD coordination office has really good experience so far now. That is led by our ministry to mobilize resource from different stakeholders. After we complete our dam, our GERD, for sure we'll start another dams, another projects. So this project office will not vanish. It will continue, it will get maintained by proposing another source of either finance or another kind of project that we'll be doing. That is what will be remaining committed to work upon that. Where we will do it, we will see through time, either east side or southwest side or west side itself. Either for irrigation, it can be for energy, it can be for any kind of development. The office will remain practicing its own duty as it is doing now.
Ethiopia contributes more than 86% to the flow of the Nile River, but Ethiopia still believes in fair and equitable use of the water. And since the beginning of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Sudan and Egypt has been criticizing and objecting the project, and now the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is about to be completed. And what would be the fate of Egypt and Sudan then?
Actually, from both countries, we cannot use them on the same, we cannot put them in the same basket. From Sudan side, they are just playing kind of pendulum here and there, which is not a big deal for us. From Egypt, they have firm stand that Ethiopia will not have a mandate to utilize the water. Though they do use the word by word, whatever they use to defame Ethiopia in international community is it sounds so. We believe they are wrong. Actually, not only we believe, but they are wrong for sure. Because in a bay or a Nile River, that water we have in that river is investment that we did upon that. How we can say that every year in Ethiopia, if we see, especially in dry periods, the government mobilize our nation to dig for traces, to go for watershed management, to treat the catchments. Recently, our PM has started about the concept of green legacy, planting of seedling vegetation. All this contribute to the existence of water in Nile itself. That is also what they have to know. They believe Nile is given to them, and they are given to Nile, which is again actually very wrong and needs to be corrected. We believe Nile is a blood for Ethiopians because we invested on it. Currently now we need to move up on that, and that is the way we need to understand basically. So now, if we clearly have seen how Nile is existing and what we believe on it, and also we accept survival and their benefit from Nile as a nation, the only thing is to cooperate, to discuss, to come around the table and to negotiate on the common utilization. That is what we are keen to proceed. From their side, they are against this, especially from Egypt. They try to defame Ethiopia every year. By the time we start filling of our dam, they keep up on propagating wrongly against us, and they are doing the same currently also. That is totally unacceptable. It needs to be corrected. And in the future also, we believe, let's discuss, let's talk, let's have an agreement. Agreement, I mean, when we are saying an agreement, not on the utilization of the dam, but how we will have common view of utilization of water on the entire region. The entire region is not only Ethiopia, but all Nile Basin, the White Nile and the Blue Nile countries need to come together and work for the betterment of the region.
I see. Could you brief us the progress of the three-party negotiation under the auspice of the African Union?
Currently, it's not active because earlier time it was in DRC was leading the negotiation because they are the chair of the African Union. Now the African Union chairmanship is shifted to Senegal, and so far no meeting has been called for it. We hope they will do it in the future, in the next few months. We are ready to join that because at the beginning, from the very beginning, before GERD itself, the NBI is the Nile Basin Initiative. We Ethiopians were number one to take a lead for the establishment of that initiative, and still supporting by contributing every year our share from Ethiopian government side. So on the discussion of the GERD issue, for any negotiation, for any dialogue or discussion, we are ready as we have been doing earlier, and we hope the African Union chair from Senegal will call for a meeting, and we will be joining that one. The stand from Egypt, really we are not sure how they feel it, because last time in DRC they were not willing to go there, and from Sudan, due to their internal problems, there are some issues need to be taken into consideration, where we believe they will come back to their heart and remain supportive also. By the way, above all, this dam is near to the border of Sudan. All what I've been talking earlier with the tourism, we even think people from Sudan and tourists from Sudan, they may come from Sudan side and visit it, and they will get more advantage of that one. In terms of flood, we are managing the big disastrous flood every year they are facing.